I have been having technical difficulties all day. No makeup, barely did my hair, deal with it. I've had possibly the worst day for tech ever. I do not know what's going on today. I don't know which witch I pissed off. Probably all of them because I piss everyone off. But it's been a very technical difficulty day, so you're gonna have to deal with this, okay? You can flag me and you can dislike the video for obscene content as much as you like, but you're gonna have to deal with this because I can't be fucked. Almost 9 o'clock and I want to record today's video. And today's video is more Movellas drama, The Girl Who Lived. And today we are going to be going through my personal relationship with Brittany Bitchface Cunthead. Sorry, it's just my pet name for her. As I have said previously in the other two parts of this series, this is drama from 2013 from an online community that I was part of. I was part of a writing community. I used to do a lot of story writing, a lot of poetry writing, and a lot of fan fiction and roleplay writing. Okay, like it's a part of all of our pasts, and I just want to talk about mine because I personally think that it was a lot of fun. And a lot of my friends who are from the same community have told me that I have created a lot of Vietnam flashbacks for them. What we're going to do today is go through my personal relationship with Brittany. I know I've kind of mentioned it here and there, but I have found a file uncovering all of the things that I had said to her and that she had said to me. And to join us, as always, will be Saf from saf.com, or The Sinning Skeptics, because she lives for this drama, so I will be calling her now. Grab a drink, grab a blanket. Your drink does not have to be alcoholic. It is a Wednesday, probably in the afternoon. Get your life together. Hello, how are you? What were you watching?
I was just watching Friends. I've nearly finished watching it again.
Not to get everyone on the wrong side of the fence immediately into the video, but I feel like it hasn't aged well.
There are some jokes, even so I don't get, like, just because it's, like, before my time, like, so they're, like, pop culture-y sort of, like, jokes and their TV references and, like...
The thing is, right, I think the reason why I hate it so much is the character that I relate to the most is Chandler, and I hate Chandler. I also find him really funny, and I feel like he's not meant to be.
My favourite line he says is, "I'm awkward, hopeless, and desperate for love."
Anyways, it's good to know that you're doing well. My day has been just one mishap after another. I woke up late. I was meant to wake up at 8. I woke up at 1 p.m.
Oh my god, that's a bit of an overspeed.
And I don't even know why, because I slept perfectly fine last night. And then following that, I wanted to edit today's video, which was going to be the 5th special episode of the Derek series, but the whole 2-hour Zoom conversation is just audio. I'm very annoyed, so I might need to find somebody else to help me react to what we reacted to so that I can keep some of Simon's audio in there, but also have the visual element to work with as well. I thought I would upload yesterday's gameplay footage. The initial recording was also audio. Just audio from Zoom, and then I rebooted everything, re-downloaded everything, and it kind of worked out. So then I edited it and I finished it. iMovie kept flopping on me.
Oh no.
I rendered that video 3 times and it kept failing. I scrapped it completely, re-edited it, rendered it, and then uploaded it. I was so frustrated, I ordered Uber Eats.
Oh, bless you. You know what it's deserved.
I wanted a drink with my meal, and they had no drinks, so I had to cancel my meal. This day has been a pipe dream. While I was editing and recording today's video, my phone popped out of the tripod. Never done that before. I feel like the Andrews have it coming for me.
I feel like they put like some voodoo curse on
It must be an Andrew that cursed me. It has to be. I haven't pissed one off recently, but I did just, expose their whole plan of destroying the world. So, when you wake up and you just know it's going to be a bad day? That's where I'm at. But I'll go shopping tomorrow, get a big bottle of Coke, just so I have something to mix my alcohol with over the weekend. Can't be too bad of a day if I'm sitting here recording one of these videos with you. Hope you're ready for the tea. Hope you have a blanket.
You don't understand. I'm at a level of comfort unmatched. I am laying in my bed burritoed into my duvet.
Unlike Simon, you actually enjoy this. So anyway, the context for today's bedtime story, I found a folder where it's just outlining mine and Brittany's relationship. Up until this point, we've talked about, I was the one who was on the fence for the longest because I really wanted to try and like smooth everything over, but certain people did not want to take ownership of what they did. We've already discussed how she stole 2 people's identities. She tried to fake her death on many occasions. She was lying about a lot of things, including self-harm, depression, being moved into a foster home, and being all the while being very, very dramatic about it. But what I really want to cover, so this would be a different timeline. So this would be before any of the stuff happened and then following. And there might be some reiteration here, but I really want to, I think what I didn't do with the Derek series is really hammer home how much of a good person I am. That came out wrong. I was almost like an armchair therapist, not just to Brittany but also to Derek, because with me and Derek we kind of trauma bonded because he was a raging alcoholic and I had a terrible life. But because Brittany had faked having so many problems, and I wasn't the only one, I want to make that very, very clear. A lot of my friends on this website were armchair therapists for this person. We genuinely cared about her and we genuinely wanted her to get help. This is what I'm trying to establish is like the kind of relationship we had up until all of this started happening. There might be some things that I just don't remember because again, this drama is so old, but this must have been in either 2012 or 2013. She says, well, Chase has seen my self-harm burns and he was really shocked. He threatened to send me to hospital, but as my harassing skills are good, I managed to come up with a compromise. If I'm going to self-harm, he has to be there to make sure I don't kill myself. Then he asked me if I had ever tried to kill myself, and as I don't want to lie, I told him about my 4 attempts. That's when he sent me to hospital and I left him for a bit. Before I broke out of the hospital, the doctors prescribed me antidepressants. Don't ask me, I don't know. I'm as frustrated as you reading this. Before I broke out of hospital, the doctors prescribed me antidepressants and made me take 1 dose as I was suicidal.
What does that even mean? Why is she putting it in quotation marks?
In brackets next to that, she wrote, ha, with an exclamation point.
I don't even know anymore.
All of these videos are demonetized and they're going to stay demonetized because I keep saying the word suicide when all of this is fake. Like, not only did this girl fuck up my teenagers, she's now fucking with my content.
I just wanted to see it and then give her reaction.
That would be interesting, but I feel like that would bring out a real mean streak in me that I do not want to see.
It would be Fast and Furious Faye.
It would be Fast and Furious Faye.
Tokyo Drift.
Jesus. Help me.
You don't believe in him anyway.
Fuck.
Why I took the meds with me when I left, I don't know, but I did. Now I have 2 choices, continue with the meds or go back to hospital. I hate hospitals, so I guess I have to stick with the meds.
Okay.
So I said, before I say anything, doctors are arses, all of them. The whole blooming lot. My mother suffered 4 whole months with a kidney infection when the doctors finally decided she'd suffered enough and sent her to the flipping hospital to get a transplant. Doctors are evil, no matter how much they tell you they're trying to help you.
Fuck me.
She had terminal cancer, so it was long enough for her. But if it was just, I mean, it's that pain she has. She already has like a terminal illness. She doesn't need that. Well, they didn't know she had a terminal illness, so I can't fully blame it on the doctors because the kind of cancer that she had was very, very difficult to diagnose anyway. I think the factors that came into it was that, you know, she had just had a kid, so the GP kept telling her like, you're fine, you just had a kid, you know, that's all this is for like 4 months, and then they eventually sent her to go, you know, A&E to see what they say, and they found that she had a very severe kidney infection, but then they also found a tumour. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's a true story, but it's definitely coming out of my child, you know, understanding of what happened.
And then I said, well, you're not alone in the suicide thing. Self-harm, not the best idea. Honestly, I know the feeling is good. all the numbness goes and it feels you're alive and not somewhere in the middle between life and death. The numbness is worse than anything you will ever feel. But to be fair, it's not a good thing. Self-harm does affect you in the long run. It's addictive for starters. Why not try other methods of release? Having something to break is the best way. Laughing face. Though solutions aren't the best idea to give yet, unless you get rid of all the stuff that's been burdening you for so long. And then I end with, I'm the stranger.
I'm the stranger.
I'm the stranger. Let me explain what that means.
So I have always had a theory, at least for me, that it's easier to talk to people that you don't know as opposed to people that you do. Like really deep stuff, because they don't have a frame of reference to judge you by. So I've done this 101 times, where if I'm having like a terrible day and I really don't want to talk to any of my friends or any of my family members, I will sit in a coffee shop and I will talk to a random stranger. I'll ask about their day, I'll ask how they're doing, and then because of common politeness, they'll ask me how I'm doing, and I'll be able to vent that out, and they will give me an insight that I don't feel like anyone else would. And it is something that I've kind of carried with me. Like a lot of people will say that if you're, be kind to yourself, be your best friend. I take the opposite route. Treat yourself like a stranger, because strangers will be honest with you. I don't know if it's healthy, but it's something that I've kind of thought throughout my life, that strangers have a perspective that no one else in your life can give you, because it's just a blunt first impression.
Can't hurt. As long as you're not following anybody into a van, it's fine. But yeah, that's what I meant by I'm the stranger. She responded by saying, right, well, I tried 4 different ways of suicide. I tried to hang myself with a belt, but it failed. Then I tried to slash the arteries in my thighs, so I bled out. That also failed. 3rd time, I stripped the plastic coating off an electric wire, then bit down on it. I didn't even get so much as a tiny shock. Finally, I tried to drown myself in the bath. It didn't work. Yeah, probably because the bath isn't exactly the...
How do you drown yourself in the bath?
I don't think you can drown you. You'd have to be... You would stop yourself almost. Your body would reject you from, drowning in the bath.
I'm sorry, I'm not criticizing your suicide plan, but also, what the fuck?
The logic.
Oh, the logic. I was such a dumb kid. It didn't work, so I just got so desperate. The fact I was being forced into counselling also didn't help. Okay, you can't be forced into counselling. If anything, living in a minority household, which always told me not to go to mental health therapy and not to get support, you cannot be forced into counselling.
I don't want to encourage anyone out there, so I feel like this is a dangerous thing to say, but if you really wanted to kill yourself, it's not that hard.
These are shit ways to try, dumb ways to die.
Oh my god.
This is dumb ways to die, but suicide edition.
Oh no.
This is dumb ways to almost die. The counselling was actually the reason why I tried to bite the electrical wire. I was so sick of being forced to read out the most personal things about me that I tried to die. Again, not how counselling works at all. Plus, the fact that I was forced to lie to the counsellor as she was telling all I said back to Mum didn't exactly help. Again, not how counselling works. Henry, which is the guy that she had a crush on, and Chantel's boyfriend, Henry didn't know any of this. He literally only found out about my burning this week, as I've been doing it since I was 12. That's a hell of a long time to keep it quiet, nearly 4 years. Even when I burn, I still don't feel alive. I feel like I'm only existing, not living. I haven't lived since I was 11. It gets me as close as I can, though, to being alive. I tried breaking things instead, but I ended up feeling guilty for destroying something for my own selfishness. Then I just burned more. Also, strap in, because this is a long conversation.
Oh, don't worry. I'm comfortable.
Okay, good.
I might paint my nails as well, actually.
Go for it. Self-care is important. Yay, mental health. Ignore what I said about suicide. It's not important. The counsellor was telling things back to your mum. This is me now. What the hell? Isn't it meant to be confidential? See, I knew it back then. But even existing, it's better than being in the middle. I can't relate to that. Damn it, that's a whole lot to take. And really Chase did the worst but best thing he could think of to tell the authorities. It sucks when they drag you into a shrink's office or a hospital ward and suddenly you're like a criminal getting interrogated, or an experiment subject getting strapped to a bed and needled by bloodthirsty, careless nurses. Wow, I really didn't have a good impression of government workers.
Really?
I really did. Henry, he didn't know about any of this. Brittany, he loves you.
No.
Tell him stuff since he understands, even if you think it will annoy him. He's a shoulder to cry on, and so is Chase. They have their hearts in the right place, kid, no matter what they do to make you feel better. But it really does help to talk about it with a complete stranger, someone you can entirely trust because you don't know who they are, you've never seen them, and they can't affect you in any way if they suddenly start to dislike you. To tell someone something and have them understand is the best cure for what you have. It can't even be classed as a medical problem, it's an experience problem. And no matter how many different pills they hop you up on, it won't go away unless you make it. You have to go out there and feel better about yourself.
Baby Faye is very, very aware about the world.
Oh, Baby Faye is 14 and deep. So she responds by saying, when I was 11, well, I found out I was bi then. Well, not exactly found out, but knew what the word for what I am was. What with the band and the schoolworks and his girlfriend, so Henry's girlfriend Chantel, I didn't want to be another problem for him. Dreams and plans for the future? Well, I've got my eye on this sixth form college that I'm not going to say out loud. But after that, with tuition fees getting so high, university is out of the question. I was thinking, it sounds weird, but I'd like to go to an Ivy League university, ideally studying music and history, as they're my most liked subjects. I'll probably be married after I complete my degree, so I guess it will be married life and trying to break into the music industry. No kids though. No matter what I've discussed on the forums, I'm never having kids. Forums being like the Movellas forums. That's pretty much all I've got planned to do. I had more plans, but they're ridiculous. And then I said, but why would that bother you, her being bi? Do you not like being bi? Do you not want to be? It's a bit of a touchy subject, I get, so don't answer if you don't want to. The
was
usual
this still
dream.
Salafi Faye, or was this like
This was back when I was still Salafi Faye, so...
Oh.
I mean, she's gonna come out in a sec once we start talking about her bisexuality, but give it a minute. What would you want to do a degree in? And you realise a degree isn't required for a career in music. I've never heard you sing, so I can't really make a judgment, but if you're good, then hand in tapes now, to anybody who gives you the chance. It can't hurt even if you get rejected. If you're good, someone will pick you up. You never want kids? Why not? LOL, we all have ridiculous dreams, but that's nothing to be ashamed of. My current dream is the complete opposite of yours. Is your mum's abandonment of you affecting you in any way? If I could, I would willingly stop myself from being bi. If that electroshock therapy worked, I'd go through with it. Being bi is actually torture. You don't fit in anywhere, nobody trusts you, and you're pretty much an outcast. Plus, you have to be on your guard at all times. As someone who recently came out as bi, I cannot relate to that. We get the best of both worlds, babes. To be honest, I'm too scared to have kids. The pain, then there's the legal issues if something goes wrong, which means I can't provide for my children. I'll be labelled a bad mother, have my children taken, and then there's all sorts of other problems. Plus, well, this sounds ridiculous, but I'm scared to love in case I'm hated back. I had been clean from burning for 2 weeks before she kicked me out, talking about her mother. Now I do it nearly every day. I thought a mother's love was unconditional. It is, you bitch. You lied about this completely. But clearly not. Then there's the street kid thing. If things end up going wrong in the relationship, where am I going to go? Right back to what I did for 4 days, sleeping in the doorway of the O2 shop in Bath. I'm supposed to be scared of nothing at my age, but I was honestly terrified at that time. I never want to feel that fear again. Everyone who passed by was a threat, and every day was basically about staying moving so nobody got suspicious. I never want to feel like that again.
Back to Baby Faye.
Back to Baby Faye. Back to Baby Salafi Faye, because I can kind of skim read what I've said here. Coming from someone who's pretty much asexual, this is gonna sound very homophobic.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But I swear that's not my intention. The truth is, I don't buy into the idea that any form of homosexuality is genetic. It's conditional. If it were genetic, then it wouldn't die out within one generation? It wouldn't be a dominant gene, it would be recessive. I can understand where your problem may stem from. You've never met your father, I believe. Freud had a theory called the Oedipus electrocomplex, that when a child cannot identify with one or both parents, they are more likely to be homosexual or have homosexual urges. You never had a father figure present, therefore this form of sexuality developed. 11 is really young, but anyway, because it's not a medical issue, it cannot have a medical cure. It's more an issue of willpower than cure. Does that make any sense?
Kill me! Kill me!
I'm so embarrassed.
As the bi woman you are.
Oh, that is a cursed string of sentences. But I made my point.
Yeah?
If you were a 14-year-old reading that, you'd think, oh yeah, definitely, she knows what she's talking about. Well, good luck in whichever degree you want to do. Degrees are hard, and I've had just about enough of teachers and studying. I might do a counselling course, though I don't know how much help that would be. Might just settle with being a gold digger. I can't understand that fear. Just moving on. We're not commenting on that. Kids are hard to bring up. I have 5 siblings and I'm the oldest. I've had to look after them plenty of times on my own, and I'm telling you, it's so hard. I swear, I think I've had a good few breakdowns. The pain, as in labour? LOL, did you know we women have hormones that make us forget the pain as soon as it's over? And did you know that it's that pain that binds us to that child, which is why doctors advise against the epidural? Pain is in everything, Brittany. There is no escaping it. I hate myself right now. There are methods and ways of rearing a child that only you can know. No amount of parenting classes can teach you anything. As soon as you have a child, Salafi Faye needs to take a seat. As soon as you have a child, you instinctively know what to do. The first child is usually the easiest one to raise. Scared to love? I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I still have trust issues even with members of my own family. But there's nothing to do about that. There's hope that perhaps somewhere deep down she still has a place in her heart for you. But how can you ever be sure of that? I still can't believe she threw you out. Talking about Brittany's mother. The relationship issue, that's a tough one. If it wasn't for the whole racistness of my family, I would have taken you in if something happened. She was Jewish.
Yeah.
Brittany's
yeah.
Jewish.
The Salafis do not like the Jewish people.
No, the Salafis do not like Jewish people. I'm sorry, I don't have much of a solution for that predicament. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry that the world is just collapsing around you. I'd like to say that I hope things clear up, but what use is hope when there is such a tight dilemma? I'm so sorry, Brittany. Just try and stay strong. God is with the patient, and fortune favours the brave. What is wrong with me?
Fortune favours the brave. I swear that's on like a perfume advert.
It's not homophobic at all. I actually believe it too. Yeah, Dad vanished before I was born. I don't even know what he looks like or anything. It usually settles in if it's definitely when puberty kicks in. If it hasn't, there's a good chance that it's not definite. She's talking about her bisexuality.
What?
I'm not scared of labour, like labour pain. Though I want to avoid that. I meant emotional pain, depression, mood swings. I'm unpredictable enough as it is. Please don't have children. I beg you. I know that I was trying to make a very good case for you back then, but please do not have children. Brittany, do it for your unborn children. Do not have them. I can count the number of people I trust on one hand. It was because it was so sudden that it made it hurt the most. She literally said, I heard you're dishonouring the family by existing. Get out and do not ever come back. And slammed the front door in my face. I haven't spoke to her since, and to be honest, I don't want to. Honour comes first in the community, so even if I was her only child and dying of a painful disease, she'd still slam the door in my face. There's more chance of the sun's gravity pulling the earth in, so we all fry tomorrow, than there is of her taking me back. That's okay, I don't mind. It does put a lot of pressure on me to make it work though, as if I don't welcome the homelessness. I don't need...
Okay.
You don't need to be sorry one bit. One of the reasons why this still makes me mad is that everything she said just now affects me right now. Like, this is an issue that she completely faked and she, like, dramatized for her own sadistic pleasure when it's an issue that I am currently facing. Like, it pisses me off that she got away with this for so long. And then I respond to her by saying, why did your dad leave, do you know? I hate it when parents do that. If you're going to have children, whether you intended or not, stick around and have some decency. Not to interfere or anything, but don't you find Matthew, her then boyfriend, don't you find Matthew a tad bit clingy? LOL, I couldn't count people I trust even if I had one finger. I simply don't trust, and if I do, it's for a limited period of time. And how scary a world it is that when things are like that. I was told from a young age that family is the first trust and the last trust. Trust no one else. But even that wasn't anything. Not after a relative misused me in the wrong way. I've been very protective since. Damn it, you should find out who the idiot who told her was and kick his freaking ass in. Yeah, I use the word freaking. How could they do that to you? I know all about community and honor. Chase seems like a reasonable guy. Wouldn't he let you stay even if you didn't have, say, a mutual breakup? Perhaps in a year's time you'll have a job and you could rent an apartment or something. Though it is years, I'm still sorry for what you're going through. I feel infected, like I feel dirty. I don't know why, in terms of her father, why he wasn't around. He could be anywhere. If somehow he tries to get in touch, I'm simply telling him to go and fuck himself. I only trust a few people, but not too far. Where I'm from, you're brought up to take complete care of yourself before you're 13. Okay, Syrian child fighter. Jesus. Calm the fuck down. Those that don't are usually found half naked and decomposing in a field nearby. You grew up in the UK. You grew up like somewhere near fucking Cornwall. Can you shut the fuck up? I've had to grow up damn quick because of that. I have my suspicions on who did it, so who told her mother. I have a feeling it was my sister, to be spiteful. She never liked me and I never liked her. Meh, screw her. She's the one who's pregnant and married to someone who doesn't know he's not the father, not me. That's just purely unfair. Way too common, but still very unfair. Maybe it'll still be awkward though. The council out here will only let me get a flat when I'm 16 if I'm pregnant. As that's not happening, I'm screwed, even if I do get a job.
Why are we still here?
I'm just not going to comment on that. I'm just going to let that speak for itself. That's awful that your dad just left you and your mum. It's sad and it's so common. Ugh, not having a childhood sucks. I know that feeling. Having to grow up quickly because everything around you demands it. Maybe that's the reason I can be so immature. Then again, I like that side of me. Well, your sister was an obvious suspect. Goodness, she's evil. She's going to end up screwing up so many lives by doing what she's done. I just want to reiterate that she completely lied about her sister. Not only was she not pregnant with someone else's child, she was an 8-year-old herself. Hold on, Brittany. Give the future a chance. Maybe answers and solutions will come by. Which part of this was your fault? Not to be patronizing, but am I sensing low self-esteem? I partially got my childhood stolen from me and I partially threw it away. I just wanted to be the strong one. That was unbreakable, but I guess I was wrong. And in terms of her sister, she goes, I hate her so much. Even if she has miscarried one of the twins, I can tell she hates me too, as she properly beat me up and even encouraged me to attempt suicide for the 3rd time. When it failed, she beat me up again. Well, if all those people threw me out like trash, then there has to be a reason. As all they have in common is me, the reason must be something to do with me. Okay, Brittany. Alright. Let's change the subject a little bit. I and my dad were talking today and he said something that kind of struck. Everything that happens to you either makes you or breaks you, whether good or bad. The way you handle a situation, regardless of what happens, will either destroy you or make you stronger. I know which type you are, and I think you know too. If someone has a problem with you, that's their problem, not yours. You clearly can't find a specific reason why they'd antagonize you, so it's their own little problem. I think we all know why everyone has a problem with you now, Brittany. I had a bully in years 7 to 9 that honestly was the worst plague ever on me. She got a few kicks out of me on her face, but for the most part I ignored her. As luck would have it, we became good friends in year 11. She told me she had all these family problems and such. I got the hint that she was trying to say sorry. When she bullied me, she was blowing off steam. It's them, Brittany, not you. That's also a very true story that I just poured out of me. One more question, if you want to answer it. Are you comfortable with yourself? Are you happy being you? Am I happy being me? No, not one little bit. Some days I try to act and do everything like I was another person. I try to make myself forget how to play cello and piano. I try changing my name. I try reacting completely differently to how I would normally. I try making myself somebody new, but it doesn't work. At the end of the day, no matter how hard I try, it will never completely work. And then I add, oh, been there, girlfriend. They call me... I'm not reading this, I'm sorry. It's too...
Oh.
It's too cringe. it's too cringe. I mean, I think I've made the point though. I don't think we need to go through much more of this. At this point, it's just gratuitous. Like, this was the kind of relationship we had. We would have these like little back and forths where when she was feeling down, she would come to me and she would tell me all of her problems. And I obviously wasn't the only one that she would talk to, but this was our relationship. And then there's like this whole other fucking thing about how she wanted to participate in something called the Starlight Run. She explains it here. She says, the full Starlight Run should take about 2 months, working from place to place. It's pretty common as money usually runs out fast, though as the usually girls doing it are often quite young or without qualifications, they often work in the illegal or 18 plus jobs, prostitution and the like. There are no requirements, but it is pretty risky, as most starlights sleep on the streets. Hypothermia, frostbite, etc. are quite common. Plus, as they're often young girls, it's far too easy for some nutcase to either kidnap or rape and or kill them. This is what she would say she wanted to do. And then it was like this whole thing about talking her out of it. And also, in this specific conversation about the Starlight Run, she was talking back and forth with 2 accounts.
Oh my god.
So she was talking as her main account, so as her Brittany account, and then also the one that was meant to be Henry, or the boy that she had a crush on. I think his username at the time was Life is Death or something like that. And she's talking back and forth, responding to me. You know, at some point she just stops talking and I'm like really scared she's going to hurt herself. But Henry is still there messaging me back and saying that he's checking on her. But it's all her.
Oh my god.
And then this was something else. So do you remember how I told you that her knob of a boyfriend is a knob? That her boyfriend at the time was an absolute idiot. And she had sent me all of these messages telling me that he was like forcing her to have sex with him. And I was like constantly telling her, oh, you should leave him. And she was always like, oh, I'm never going to find love again, all of that stuff. And then we sent all of these screenshots, even though I didn't like him at the time. And I still don't like him because of this. Even though I did not get on with him and I did not like him at the time, after all of this came out, we sent these screenshots to him. And these are the screenshots that he said were doctored.
Like, at that age, coming up with all of that, there's got to be something seriously messed up with her, like, thinking.
We had a whole group chat, me and some of my friends. I think the abbreviation, because I've labelled it this way, is TMI, which was the Matthew issue. We all had this discussion, like we all felt bad for her. There were 4 of us in this group. Laura was in here, Sakura was in here, 2 other people. This isn't her real name, so I can say Enya was in here. Another girl called, let's call her Gina, was in here. Like, there were 5 of us sitting here trying to work out how exactly to bring this issue to her and like support her and like raise her self-esteem and all of that. And it's all bullshit. So where this all broke down, where I kind of lost it, was that after I think at some point I wrote a story and I like characterized her then boyfriend as a villain in that story. And she decided that she and her stupid fucking little boyfriend would go and report that story and have it removed. what ended up happening was that my story got taken down, and I was really close friends with one of the admins at the time, and she had told me, like, look, if you take out, like, we've put it in your drafts, so if you take out and change their names and stuff, it will be fine. Like, we fully understand that you have the screenshots to justify, like, they consented to being in the story and all of that. Like, we know you have that, but just to take all of this out, take it all out and replace it with different names. So that's what I did, and I put them all back up. And then I commented on her story that was like it was within the same universe of those stories. I don't know if any of this is making sense. I think that story was called Did I Scare You? And I had basically just told her,
get my name out of your book.
And this was February 2014. So that's when I cracked. Like, I stuck through with her throughout all of 2013. But February of 2014 was when I like broke. I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna screenshot everything and keep everything. And she responded by saying,
with pleasure. And you leave me and my boyfriend alone.
You know, on second thoughts, get rid of it. Get rid of the story. You're so against my work. Why would you want to endorse it?
You really need to get better at lying. I've seen all the proof to counter that. Now leave us alone, as we're both fed up with your bullying. I'm against you using it as an excuse to bully us, not the work itself. Now goodbye and leave us alone. Bit late. I already have spoken to the staff. My boyfriend wasn't the only one to report your story, you know.
I just said,
get rid of it.
I don't know why I'm still being bitter about this. This drama's so old. She responded by saying, frankly, I don't care. To me, you're nothing but a childish little girl who makes herself feel good by hurting others. That's why you keep directing hateful comments at me and my boyfriend, not caring enough to notice finer details. Like when you said all that stuff about how my boyfriend was never gonna love me, and never picked up on how I was actually telling you all that just so you could get what you want and could leave me alone. You're spiteful enough to hurt my boyfriend. You try and scare me into breaking up with him. Well, sorry, but it didn't work. Now please leave me and my boyfriend alone. I can't stop you from making subtle references us in conversation, but I can stop you from harassing us. Leave us alone.
Wow. That's quite intense.
The little whore, this bitch has the gall to call me a liar when up until this point, that has been her entire fucking career. It got worse because the moment she let me be as petty as I wanted to be, I wrote a foreword at the beginning of these stories, and at some point maybe I'll read them out. But I wrote this foreword because... Oh, and I've dated it. That's good. There was a story that we were writing together, and I guess because it's my story and it's not hers. It was called Alia y Acta Est. I had like Latin titles for all of them. So there was a story that me and a few others were working on together, which later just became me working on it myself because she got booted. And I've written, on February 12th, 2014, Alia y Acta Est was removed because a user complained about it being, in quotation marks, offensive. The admin staff that contacted me said that he appeared, in quotation marks, genuinely distressed by some of the comments made in the story. There was only one character change in this fiction, only one. I did not understand why he was offended or genuinely distressed. There was a plot change and I changed his character's name so that the character was no longer associated with him. I don't see why this is, in quotation marks, offensive. I wonder, would he have preferred that I kept his name the same and villainized him? Honestly, would he have preferred that? So I then put the screenshot of where Matthew consented to being in the story. He stated here that I could use him in the story. I didn't specify what role, hero, villain, commoner, etc. and so the freedom to express was mine. I could well have made him a villain, but I chose not to because I didn't fall that far down the bottle and I gave him a chance. Regardless of the fact that we had a few spats and I had changed his character name, and in all honesty I've come to dislike him. Why he decided to feed on my, as he calls it, grudges I have no idea. I literally have had nothing to do with him since our last argument. But I have to be honest, I am sick of giving him chances. He doesn't seem to take them seriously. And since he couldn't leave a comment or query, and instead, I'm going to stop there, since this is supposed to be formal and not my anger management venting session. Anyway, I'm removing him entirely from the story. From this day forward, the user will no longer be associated with this fiction as an entirety in any way, shape or form, and he is also no longer to be associated with the Brotherhood, which was like a little role-playing group, fictional or otherwise, in any way, shape or form. And finally, he is no longer to be associated with myself, again, fictionally or otherwise, in any way, shape or form. The permanent character in the series is, I think I renamed him Richard, because the short form of Richard is Dick, not the previous user in question. Final. And for fear that another character may become genuinely distressed and offended by her character change, the user that was formerly associated with Abbess Brittany, who is the character in the story, is also dismissed from the story. Here is the evidence showing that she signed up for this series, and I put a screenshot. And again, I repeat, from this day forward, this user is no longer to be associated with this fiction as an entirety in any way, shape or form. She is no longer to be associated with the Brotherhood, yada yada yada, same shit. I know this may seem a little unfair, but from all the overhauling I've been doing, I'm sorry, it seems I can't take any chances. Any reference, dedications and quotes that I may have used in the story concerning these two users have been removed and replaced by simple notices. I humbly request that you both remove my name from any Movellas you have published, whether it be promotive, endorsement, or as a character. If you would remove any comments I have made on your page or on your Movellas, positive, negative, critical, or otherwise, I would be equally grateful. And then I sign my name. You know what? I'm so gonna read these at some point because I genuinely think that they are works of art. I'm actually proud of those. Even though they're just like role plays.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
You could read it for like your Sunday reading.
Yeah, I might do. Like if people like, this drama enough, I might just go ahead and read them out. But yeah, that's this week's drama. That is our whole relationship. Essentially, in essence, I couldn't go ahead and read all of the because they're so long.
It's like peaceful, then it just got out of hand. Well, I think my favourite bit was you being really fluffy about homosexuality.
I knew.
Because I know you now, I'm like, this is not safe.
Well, you also knew what I was, well, not new, but you were also aware of what I was like back then. How much of it was surprising, though?
It was a surprising level of, I don't mean it this way, but the intelligence and the, sophistication of your argument at 14 was.
I'm pretty sure I was older. If this was in 2013, I must have been about 18.
Oh my god.
I was an adult when this happened. Maybe 17.
Yeah.
But man, not a one of you have the right to say that you are feeling like cringe because I've just done this. Not a single one of you. Not Simon, not Vicky, not a single one of you. I have achieved top cringe today. But thank you for joining me, Saf. Do you have any final comments before we shut this off?
I feel like this was more easier to follow than the other ones because the other ones has 10 billion names, whereas this was just you and her.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Because all of this is very messy, a lot of this is achronological, there's a lot to follow, so I don't want it to be too much. I do have an email series with one of my close friends. I don't know if she wants her name in this, but her name was Sakura on Movellas.
Yeah.
And
has she seen this?
She has. I've sent it to her.
Ah.
She's my. She lives in Denmark, but she's not
cool.
Danish. She's American, but she lives in Denmark with her Danish boyfriend, and they're very cute.
Aww.
But I had a back and forth with her. I had a back and forth with a few other people about this, and I kind of want to delve into those because I wasn't the only one that she was taking for a ride.
You really do have all of the tea.
Listen, I don't hold on to grudges, I don't hold on to material items, but what I do hold on to is evidence.
I was not expecting this from you.
What part weren't you expecting?
Just the whole ending someone's career thing.
Or you thought I wasn't capable of that, or?
I just didn't think it started that early.
I didn't know it started that early. Wow. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like, share and subscribe. Also follow Saf at saf.com. And you have a blog, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
It's called the Amber Journal.
I'll link that blog in the description below and in the live chat if you're here for the premiere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, bye.
Bye.